Right, it's another episode of Serious Matters with Olukules on ONIF TV. Here we're going to be talking about we're going to be looking at crime. And this crime, it's about, the bid for young people, especially, I do not want to say the less privileged, but people who are seemingly, up and coming, trying to make wealth at all costs. And that brings us to the story of the young lady who was murdered by her boyfriend and the mother and supposed prophet or pastor somewhere there in Osun State. And so that brings us to that point. Now, the point is, this young lady was a student of the Lagos State University, came visiting, her parents, and then now at home when she was about leaving the house, she received a call from her boyfriend, but then she did not disclose to her parents who she was going to meet, but she actually, said bye-bye to them. She was going back to school that same day. However, the boyfriend was actually waiting for her with a car just some way off. And I think that was just to cover off, not allowing them to know who picked up their daughter and, But to cut the long story short, the boyfriend picked up, they picked up the young lady with the vehicle, of course, took her to his mother, and then from there they were said to have gone to an hotel where the girl was being drugged and moved her with a pastor to where she was being slaughtered and all parts of her bodies were being dismembered. Now, it's a very sad story on the side of the young lady who has been killed, and then also it's criminal of anyone to murder anyone for no reason. It's criminal. It's injustice for anyone to kill one or take one person's life. And now my concern basically is our urge, this uncontrollable urge for wealth. Unfortunately or interestingly, we find that the mother of the boy was involved, and so this brings to limelight parents who help their children to commit crime, parents who help their children to get money rituals. You know what it took you to give birth to a child, and I can't imagine that you as a mother would get yourself involved in killing another person's child. Now, that girl was being dismembered, the head, all body parts, and then the pastor said that those parts of the body were being used to cook, to make concoction for the boy and the mother. When the story was, when he was being investigated, he said that the mother was not aware that it was the body parts of the girl that they were eating. Of course, it was already cooked and they did not know that she did not know. But then some of the statements that we heard initially was that the woman was making statements like, we will soon be out of this place. It doesn't, that we are being arrested now does not mean that we'll be here for too long. No, that's not even my focus. That's not the point I'm trying to make here. The point I'm trying to make is, should making wealth or becoming great or amassing, material wealth become a do or die affair? Should it be something that we now do at the expense of people's lives? Should it be something that we do at the expense of people's life? Favor Dale Oladele has been killed and murdered for the sake of, I want to become this, I want to become that. And then the mother of the boy is supporting these inhumous acts, this kind of acts that should not be heard. It happened late last year. Now the pastor has confessed that he was paid 210,000. He was paid 210,000 to use the girl for rituals. He was paid 210,000. He confessed that he was the one that actually slaughtered the girl, and that was after the boyfriend had smashed the girl's head with a pestle. And I just imagine how these days human feeling, has escaped the system of some people in the name of seeking wealth. I just imagine, and I'm just wondering, what are we looking for? Young chaps, what are you looking for? Why are you in a hurry? Why are you young ladies, for instance, in a hurry at age 20, 16, 17, 20 something, in a hurry to use designers that people of age 50, 40 something use? It had taken these people several years to put their lives together for them to get to where they are. And here you are just being young when you are supposed to be laying your own foundation also. You are in a hurry to use what these men and women have put together in so many decades. It doesn't work that way. And for guys too, it doesn't work that way. You can't kill somebody. I have thought about this again and again before bringing it to limelight. I've thought about it again and again, and I'm wondering how safe do you now become when you have killed somebody to buy a car, and you feel so comfortable in that car, and you are comfortable in that house, and mama, you are happy that your son has made it in court. I beg your pardon. This is not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be. I'd like us to drop our opinions on this issue of people, using others, committing, people who go into rituals, people who go into rituals to make wealth. Is it worth it? Is making it in life worth the life of a fellow? Is it worth the life of another person? Making it in life, driving a Rolls Royce, flying a private jet, is it worth making it in life? I think it's high time we take our eyes away from people who flash things on the internet. Social media has made things worse. People who live audio lives, like some people say. People who live fake lives, showing you words of cash. And then you just feel that, no, I cannot. But just the question is, making it in life, is it worth the life of anybody? Favor Dali Oladele is our case study. RIP to the young lady. And I pray that justice will take its course on everyone who had a hand in it. Thank you very much. Yes, this one is a sweet one here. I followed it for some time, and I can't remember if I mentioned it here before. My name is Olukunle, and this is Serious Matters. We're going to be looking at the issue of ex-governors getting pensions running into millions, and I know that they get their pensions even before people who get peanuts get theirs. That's if they get it at all. And so we're going to be looking at that today. Now the good news is that the court has declared pensions to ex-governors null and void. Thank you very much, and I pray that ruling goes through. The National Industrial Court has declared as null and void payments of pension and gratuity to former governors and deputy governors. The court gave the judgment on Thursday while ruling in a suit brought against the Taraba state government by Alhaji Garba Umar. Umar, the claimant, was once the acting governor of Taraba state. He had dragged the state government to the court, claiming that he was entitled to gratuity as a former governor of the state, 300% of his salary as medical allowance, and other benefits as provided in Taraba state government and state governor and deputy governor's pension law, according to the 2015 law. Man, 300% of his salary as medical allowance, millions of naira, just going for people who are not more in office. What do you think about this? This is daylight robbery. Daylight robbery. He said in its ruling, the court held that it appeared that there was a contradiction by the provision of Section 124(5) of the 1999 Constitution, which enabled the House of Assembly of a state to provide for pension or gratuity to governors and deputy governors, which items are also placed under the exclusive legislative list under Part 1 of the second schedule of the 1999 Constitution. Now the question then is how to reconcile these two provisions of the Constitution. The answer answer is by adopting a purposeful approach by which the court is required to look at the Constitution as a whole and construe its provision in such a way as to give effect to the general and specific purpose for which it was enacted. That is good governance and the welfare of all Nigerians based on the principles of equality and justice. Now, I will not take much of your time on this, but then it's good news. Now we're just going to be looking at it together, as touching, what they get as gratuity and what they get as gratuity, what they get as pension, what they get. Let's just look at it together. What they get and how they go about it. Because when you look at 300% of a governor's salary, what he eventually gets is more than what would have paid the pension of so many, in within the same time. So the question is it right? But then that's not even more. That's no more an issue anymore. Not even at this time when the court has declared pensions to ex-governors and deputy governors null and void. These monies are just too much. They would have been good enough to do quite a number of things for people. For their states. It will have done them a lot of good doing, using the same monies for people in their states. And the question is, another point is that they get so much money even before every other person gets their money. They get their pension. And I think what brought about this initially was the issue of, not getting the pension at the right time. And that's what brought about the whole thing. And then, it's just, like I said, it's a good news and it's a good development. But then let's look at it together. Your opinion on the pensions of ex-governors and deputies running into millions. What's your opinion on it? And I just, like I said earlier on, I pray that this ruling goes through. Even where if it is appealed and what have you, I pray that it just goes through. Thank you very much. My name is Olukunle Son, and this is Serious Matters on ONIF TV. Bless you and Happy New Year once again. Bye-bye. Wow, Happy New Year. We're still here and you're still there. Thanks be to God Almighty who has kept every one of us intact, and we have journeyed safely from 2019 into 2020. Wow, the weather is a bit very cold now. Anyway, I'd like to say Happy New Year to every one of you from Serious Matters Ends at ONIF TV here. My name is Olukunle Son, and first of all, we'll be talking about the New Year message from our President Muhammadu Buhari. And the point we want to be talking about basically is his stepping down. Now, there have been speculations about him, pushing for a third time, and some even say that the idea of the Senate, pushing that bill, saying that senator, the rep member who pushed the bill for a 6-year for each term, was also an agenda to push President Muhammadu Buhari further, into spending or staying longer in office. But then the president has come out on the new year to say that come 2023, he will be standing down. That was the exact words he used. He will be standing down and he will no more be available for any future elections. And there had been a lot of talks about that. Again, he has guaranteed Nigerians that he will leave office in 2023. However, some persons are still shaky about that statement. That was the same way he said in 2015 that he was only going to run for one term, but here he is, he's already running for the second time, and then so on and so forth. What's your opinion about the statements the president has made about leaving office in 2023? Are there other? Are you seeing it from another perspective? Is it like a way of trying to calm the nerves of Nigerians so that there won't be uproars about him going for a third time, and then probably towards the end of this second term he will now say that something else? What's your opinion? Let's just talk about it. This is no way saying that the president has told a lie, or he has said that he has said what he's not going to do. The president said he's resolved resolved to help reinforce the discretionary procedure both in Nigeria and over the local levels. And that's what he talked about, the reforming the electoral process both in Nigeria and also in ECOWAS, the countries that make up the West Africa countries. He expressed this in his New Year letter to Nigerians, which was discharged by the presidency on Wednesday, January 1st, 2020. And so we hear the president make mention or touch so many other issues concerning the country. He talked about first of all, he talked about reforming. I beg your pardon. He talked about reforming the electoral process, which I talked about earlier on. He talked about improving the well-being of Nigerians, in the coming years, and of course, quite a number of things. Well, we are looking at it from the angle of a new decade, a new Nigeria coming out of a new decade that has begun now, and expecting that things will turn out, for the good. But what's the hope? Let's just share opinions about the president's, move to step down in 2023. Let's talk about this. He talked about, he said that today denotes another decade. That's talking from the 1st of January, that it is a period of expectation, confidence in new potentials outcome. So we're looking out forward as a country to the 2020s as the chances to expand on the establishment we have laid together on security, broadening of our economy, and assuming the scourge of debasement. These are the vows on which I have been twice chosen president and remain the structure for a steady, supportable, and increasingly prosperous future. I'm sure that you've gone through, you've seen this news on our website, but then our focus is his idea of stepping down in the coming year 2023, when this second tenure will be off. And of course, like I said before, there have been speculations that he wants to run for a third term. But what's your opinion about this? What's your opinion about this? Is the APC going to still remain in office? Are they going to just replace him? Or what's your opinion about this? Let's just look at this together on this Serious Matters episode Let's just look at it together. The president stepping down in 2023. He's promising that he's going to step down in 2023. So let's talk about it. Thank you very much.